Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 25, 2024. And in the news this afternoon, Indicom probing deadly police-involved shooting in Old Harbor Bay. Terminal Road in Old Harbor Bay echoed with furious cries of residents, their anger fueled by accusations of police brutality that claimed the lives of two of their own on Saturday. As flames from burning tires and other debris rose in the air, the community was united in demanding justice for 23-year-old Neriah Bailey and Daniel McKenzie, both tradesmen of Terminal Road, who the residents adamantly insisted were not gunmen but innocent citizens. "This is a massive disaster that struck two Jamaican citizens. This is police murder against the citizens. We need justice," shouted one protester, his voice trembling with rage. "They killed them while they were going about their lawful business. The police murdered them in cold blood," shouted another. The police reported that the two men were shot after engaging a patrol team in a shootout as they tried to evade the lawmen. Two handguns were recovered after the exchange of gunfire subsided. Amid the chaos, tensions escalated as clashes erupted between protesters and the police attempting to restore order. During the turmoil, a woman emerged from the fray, nursing minor injuries inflicted during the scuffle. Yet undeterred by the confrontation, the residents remained resolute in their pursuit of justice. Counsel for the Old Harbor South Division, Dr. Kurt Wall, arrived at the scene, offering reassurance to the distraught residents. "I will not comment on the situation. I will allow the investigation to run its course, and the chips fall where they may," he stated solemnly, acknowledging the gravity of the situation. Wall said efforts would have to be made through joint initiatives to restore the trust between the police and the citizens after the incident. Meanwhile, the blockade not only symbolized the community's defiance, but also disrupted the operations of the nearby Jamaica Public Service plant. Workers found themselves stranded, unable to be relieved by their counterparts due to the impassable roadblock, exacerbating the already tense atmosphere. In the wake of the tragedy, the Independent Commission of Investigations has swiftly launched an inquiry into the incident. Indicom Commissioner Hugh Faulkner promised to conduct a thorough investigation into the incident. The circumstances leading to the incident are being ascertained, utilizing all available evidential options, Faulkner affirmed in an audio release. He said Indicom's forensic team had processed the incident scene and collected requisite exhibits while securing the firearms allegedly involved in the shooting. Faulkner said that in addition to the investigative measures, steps have been taken to have an Indicom family liaison officer make contact with members of both families. He disclosed that following an Indicom investigation, a commission's report is produced and submitted to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for a ruling. Golding rips the government for misleading public on status of Auditor General's reports. Opposition leader Mark Golding has accused the Jamaica Labour Party-led government of impeding the dissemination of information of matters of public interest and has denounced as scandalous the revelation that two reports sent by Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis to Parliament for tabling were returned by Speaker of the House Juliet Holness. Golding was speaking to journalists following a People's National Party National Executive Council meeting held at Glenmuir High School in Clarendon on Sunday. "I think it is scandalous. The whole approach of this government is to try and find ways of inhibiting the flow of information about the things that are of a public interest to do with how the country is being managed by them," said Golding, who is also president of the PNP. He continued, "Imagine two important special audit reports on the performance of two agencies, the Tax Administration Jamaica and the Financial Services Commission, a regulatory body that has gone through this whole SSL saga and had its whole leadership changed. That is what was sent to Parliament 2 or more months ago and was not tabled, and when I raised it, in order to pretend I was not telling the truth and to mislead the public that I was not telling the truth, the reports were sent back after I spoke by the Speaker of the House to the Auditor General and then to the Deputy Prime Minister, said that I was telling a lie when it was absolutely true." At the same time, Golding said he was not cognizant of why the Integrity Commission issued a recent statement stating that no reports were outstanding. The reports that are outstanding are Auditor General reports, which is what I said Golding, adding that the public is anxiously waiting on the government to release reports on the so-called illicit six. Responding to questions about his reaction to the Prime Minister and other government members staging a walkout during his budget debate presentation last Tuesday, he said, "I don't hold a grudge against somebody who has acted in an intemperate and misguided way. I hope the Prime Minister can learn from his mistakes and come again in a better way. So if he wants to meet with me to discuss anything of importance to the Jamaican people, I am happy to meet." The members walked out in protest over Golding's comments that the head of the legislature and executive were not independent of each other. Golding emphasized that constitutional reform remained a top priority for the PNP and expressed disappointment in the Prime Minister's alleged reluctance to engage in relevant discussions. "I would always encourage greater consultation and dialogue, and I'm always willing to participate in it," he said. The Prime Minister is the one who has been rather reluctant to engage with us. Positing that he was unfazed by the walkout, Golding said, "I delivered the rest of my speech on the wall by Duke Street outside of the Parliament, and it was recorded. I didn't even have a microphone, but it went viral and the people heard what I had to say, and so the Prime Minister was not able to escape what I had to say, which was why he walked out, because he saw what was coming next." Golding also criticized the Prime Minister, stating that his budget presentation lacked new ideas, and many of the ideas were adopted from the PNP. According to Golding, the PNP supports the concept of housing programs, but the government had failed to deliver affordable housing options. The performance from this government in that area has been extremely weak. There has been a lot of construction in the country, but it's at price points that are really for investors, not for people who are desperately trying to find and buy their first home. So if they're going to put more emphasis on that, that's great. Echoing similar sentiments was the opposition spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson, who said the issues on housing, "I don't think go far enough, because the real problem with housing is affordable housing at a price point below $15 million. $4 fine annoys a trial judge. Instead of imposing a minuscule fine of $4, Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague issued a stern warning to two fishermen who were caught fishing in the fairway at the Kingston Harbor. The defendants, Vinton Fox and Michael Fox, pleaded guilty to laying nets in the fairway when they appeared in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court. Laying nets in the fairway is illegal under the Harbor Rules of 1971 and has yet to be tabled in Parliament to be amended. Under Section 14B of the Harbor Rules 1971 and the Section 7.2 of Paragraph A of the Harbors Act 1874, the minimum fine for the offense is $4. There is not even a pen for $4. "Sir, don't let it happen again," instructed the senior jurist. Prosecutors contended that on January 20, the men were seen by police attached to the Marine Division throwing their nets in the Kingston Harbor. They were subsequently admonished and discharged.